Hello Duelists, it's Tom Box here, welcome to MST.TV. Now before I get into this card discussion, I want to give you guys a quick rule of thumb regarding Yu-Gi-Oh card effects, and what makes a good card. One of those rules is, if the card doesn't have a lot of card text, it's generally pretty good, just means there's less restriction. Now this new card coming out in Extreme Forces is one of those cards. Like, stuff really hit the fan this time. And yes, the card I'm talking about is Localized Trunade from the set of Extreme Force. Now we're going to talk about this in a bit more depth and why this card is freaking amazing. But this card, the word Trunade, where does it originate from? Fun fact, it actually is a poorly translated word of tornado. Tornado. Okay, whatever. You guys kind of get the idea. Trunade is not even a real word. Now, Giant Trunade is the bigger brother of this card that's been banned forever. If you haven't been exposed to him, it's because, well, it's been gone since you were here. It's been dead. It's been in jail. It's gone there for life. But what did it do? Well, Giant Trunade, all it did was return all spells and traps on the field back to the player's hand. That's it. There was no cost to it. It was like -1, but it was a -1 that secured game. This green face is the face of defeat for so many people. It's like, Giant Trunade, I will now proceed to do my wombo combo and you're about to die because you can't do anything about it. You have no back row. And hand traps weren't exactly a big thing at the time. We got DD Crow and that was about it. Nothing like these Ghost Ogres, these Ash Blossoms, these Ghost Reapers, none of that stuff. Not even like Psyframes. And Psyframes was a hand trapped on deck. But you guys kind of get the idea of why that card was so good, and even now would be really good to turn off floodgates. Okay, fair enough, but what does Localized Trunade do? Let's read into the card text here. The card text states, return all set spells and traps on the field to the hand. Wait, what? Is there missing text? What, scroll down? No? Okay, whoa. What the? Well, let's go into the reasons why this piece of cardboard is better than 95% of the other cardboards in this game. In fact, the top 5% of the cards in this game is actually really heavily played competitively. Now, when we talk about traps being affected by this card, well, there's three main family of traps in Yu-Gi-Oh! That are the most dominant and accessible for all decks. I'm not talking about like archetype specific. There are a couple of other floodgate based traps that are also very good, but we'll talk about that in a bit. The first family of trap would be the Mirror Force, the battle traps. So when you try to battle, well, again, you have a trigger condition of your opponent declaring an attack on you. And well, that's not going to happen because this is going to blow it away during the main phase one. So get out of here. The second family of trap would be the summon-based traps such as Torrential and, well, the entire whole family. Well, haha, the whole family. Those guys are basically getting blown away before you even summon, so yeah, there's that too. And then the third most powerful family of traps, in fact the one that everyone likes to run, especially when they're going first, is the Solemn Brigade. Although TCG is missing Solemn Judgment, which technically can negate this card, you would be paying 4,000 or half your life points, well, depending on when you activate it, to negate it. And is it worth it? To me, yeah, it can save your life, because your back row could be just that important. There's a Mirror Force in the back now that they can't blow away. But sadly, in TCG, we don't have Solemn Judgment. We have Solemn Scolding as a generic negator. And sadly, by having a set card next to that Solemn Scolding, you're not going to be able to protect it, because you can't activate Scolding anymore. Scolding would be paying 3,000 life points for a 1-for-1 trade, just because you can't do anything. And as for the other two traps in the Solemn Brigade, one's a Summon Negator, and yeah, the other is a summon and effect negator. So yeah, again, they have trigger points to activate them, so they're very unlikely to be met against, well, Localized Trunade. So like, aside from those traps, there are other traps too, like, oh man, but there's also the artifact engine. Well, the artifact engine, if you set your artifacts and they blow it back to your hand, it really slows you down, doesn't it? Of course, you can try to blow it up yourself. There's also D-Barrier, but you're forced into that D-Barrier. You're gonna have to make a choice, especially if it's a blind one. Are you actually going to activate it, or are you gonna save it till later? It's not a good choice. Starlight Road doesn't protect it. Huge Revolution doesn't protect it. You're basically just stuck. Yeah, that's very unfortunate because there's almost very little counterplay. Another thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, well, if it doesn't destroy, it doesn't target, and it removes a body or removes cards off the field, it's generally a good card. I'm looking at you, Trishula. Yeah, so you guys kind of get the point. So is this card really that bad to actually put in the game? No, it's not. It's actually a really good thing that we're getting this, because that's just my argument. You guys can disagree with me. but I think that the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has evolved quite far. We've gotten to a point where every other format, there's probably one deck that builds a really extreme board that someone just can't break. And if it's backed with the extra trap in the back row, such as Solemn Strikes, Mirror Force, Bottomless Trap Holes, although the whole family isn't seeing very much play right now, but the Solemn Brigade is always there. They need to get rid of the Solemn Brigade to even play. Well, that's a good thing, because now they can actually have a chance. Because more likely than not, they always get their stuff negated, and then at the end when they actually try to break the board, Solemn in their face, or they just Solemn the Black Rose, and that's the end of it. There is just no out. The unbreakable board. You guys might even compare it to like an FTK. The moment you get the board out and you know that they can't win, how is that really that different? It's like, oh, I gave the guy a turn. Is it really a turn now if you just give someone a Pokemon with Splash, like a Magikarp, and you're using a Dragonite? Yeah, it's not exactly the same thing. You're going to watch him struggle and you're going to watch him die the next turn. It's just a delayed one-turn kill. It's an OTK still. The game has also changed quite a bit. Now we have most of our effects living in monsters. In fact, most of our back row, or like interruption cards, they live in our hand. We have hand traps that are very significant to the game now, and we also have monster effects that pop stuff during our opponent's turn. Quick effects have expanded and exploded all over the game already. So does it really make that big of a difference? Are you still running Mirror Force, Trap Holes, and stuff like that? And there's actually a lot of cards that are still available to us that are unaffected by this, since it only affects set cards. And looking at recent releases of cards, in terms of archetype support, if you're Pendulum, you don't care because your stuff basically remain face up on the field anyway, but perhaps you actually wanted to bounce back just because you can protect it a bit further and reuse it. Sure, there's that. But like Floodgates, Skill Drain not affected, lose 1 turns, and all those summon Floodgates that limit on the archetype or limit like a type or attribute, all that stuff is still available, and those won't go away either. So your barrier stature stuff isn't going to get hurt either. So your anti-meta stuff, I don't think is actually taking that heavy of an impact. We also have like hand traps, as I mentioned before. Now you think about like D-Barrier and an Artifact Engine. Sure, the Artifact monster will come back, and it really sucks that they do, but your Sanctum can still activate and get out that Scythe to lock out the extra deck. You see 15 cards in extra deck. An early Scythe, sure, might not be the best timing, and early D-Barrier, again, might not be the best timing, but at the same time, it's still got an effect to go through, and it can still effectively turn into a turn skip. So, and that's all I got for this video, unfortunately, but there's probably tons to discuss just because a card like this with very few text and so much application usually can stir up a little bit of a debate in the community. Is it good? Well, yes. Is it too good? Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down in the comment section below, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this content, hit me up with a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, hit that subscribe button, smash it. And you know, a fun little fact here is that if you use set rotation in this card in an ABC deck with Dragon Ravine, you can set up the Code Talker ABC. It's just a thing you can do. You just play set rotation. Instead of giving them a junky field spell, you give them a Dragon Ravine that you'll add back to your hand. Yeah, that's something you can do too. But until next time, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please drop us a like so we know we are doing a good job, and you can also subscribe to MST.TV for more fantastic videos by clicking on the button on the left. Don't forget to check out our partners at Imperium Duelist. They make really high quality mats, including some of my own limited edition release stuff. And if you want to check out one of our past videos, click here on the right. As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you next time.